Gangsters versus Impreza. They actually pointed out Impreza as their biggest threat.
But one guy who's really stepping up has to be Jackson.
Yeah.
Jackson, as the in-game leader, has been fragging so much, carrying games left and right.
Hell was that, Jack?
I expect many more from him.
Yeah. If nothing, he's gonna be the one carrying his team to the victory.
Today we start our legacy.
What's up, guys? Welcome to the very first episode of Critical Points interview exclusive with Jackson from Impreza. Say what's up, Jackson.
Yo, what's up, Legacy?
Chillin', man. So I'm just gonna throw this out there. We actually just tried to do the interview, and I forgot to hit the record button. I thought I did on my hotkeys. So we're doing this again. So hopefully it works out. So Jackson, tell us about your career in COps, your adventure to get to where you are now in Impreza. We'll talk about obviously Valiance, the AA glitch throughout the interview, but just kind of give us a background of where you kind of came from.
All right, so I started out playing Madden Mobile a couple years back, and that's where I met Carson, and he got me to play Critical Ops. I remember I used to play it a couple summers ago just for fun. And he told me, hey, there's this ESL thing going on. I was like, all right. And so the first thing, we get smacked by King's Redemption. And so we played for a bit. We made a couple teams. And at around February last year, we got picked up by Divine after a few of their players left. It went really well. I stayed there for around 3 months before transferring to D2R. We played really well. There was a great group of players there. And then after that, I kind of went off the radar. I went to False and then a couple more of Carson's teams. Eventually, I took a break from the game for like a month, and I came back to Mind Tricks, which is a team made by Deshaun and Mabel. Half of those players are the players that are in Impreza now. We have Deshaun, Minty, Slips, and that's really how I got there.
Right on. So you mentioned you're in Divine. And now half the members are now from your old team now are here from Mindtrix are in Impreza. Now, does that chemistry transfer over to the new team? And does building the right team chemistry, is that to you, is that more important, or is actually having like players that are just very good at gun skills, is that important?
Oh, definitely. Playing with people that you like and can play with a lot is way better than just playing with someone who has crazy gun skill, because if you start working together and you're gonna get better as a group. It's not just gonna be one player who's gonna be carrying all your players will like be able to pick up on the points they need to do.
Mm-hmm. Now, since you've been in the community for a while, you've seen it grow, and now you're kind of being put on this pedestal as well. Does that change your mindset at all about how you enter a game or enter with your team? As far as once your practices, scrims, and then obviously tournament matches go?
Oh yeah, so earlier when I played Critical Ops, I was like super I guess shy. I was nervous when I saw big name players. I got nervous, and as I've started going through the months of playing this game, I've gotten more confident in myself. That's a big key as to why I've gotten better, I guess. I'm not scared to play against anyone. I don't get nervous often, and it's really helping me grow.
Mm-hmm. Now, is that just comes with playing against big teams, or just playing the game in general?
That's playing the game in general and big teams. Over time, you're gonna get used to the game more and more, and that's what's gonna take you up.
Yes.
And the big teams just comes at it. You got to look at it just as another team. You can't look at them as big players. They're not better than you. They're another team. You have to play against them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because if you're in you sign up for a tournament, you got to play them no matter what. If you want to advance in this game and your team gets better, do you feel like does the nerves ever go away before a big game, or as you play longer and more, those nerves just kind of just this is what I do. That clutch gene kind of comes in, the game sense comes in, and it's just kind of tunnel vision.
I can definitely feel a difference between a clutch situation and then just going into the game. And going into the game against Gangsters and Valiance, I was kind of nervous, but when I was in the game, it was focused. And if you get in a clutch situation, your heart starts beating, everything starts going. It just starts to flow, and play. Like this is why you play.
Yeah, that adrenaline rush comes in. I agree with you. I feel like that's why people play any competitive game or sport, is because you get that adrenaline rush. In soccer, you got the PKs, basketball, the free throws to win, the 3-point shots. Like hockey, you have the penalty shots. Like those are those moments. People live for those moments. And in critical ops, I definitely, if you have to clutch, I can't imagine how fast your heart is racing. Your fingers are probably getting sweaty and stuff. Like, do you feel like it takes time and experience to just kind of push that out, or is that just something that's always there?
I think everyone has the ability to like get into those situations and be clutch. It's just a matter of how they're going to handle it. A lot of people will panic, but they need to stay calm during it, and that comes over time.
Okay. All right. We're going to move to a question from the Twitter feed from Blizzard Cops. He's asking, what device and settings does Jackson use?
All right, so I play on an iPad 2017. It's a 9.7-inch screen. I use 4.72x, 1.29y, 0 aim excel, and also key point is I aim with a pointer finger, which is, I don't think any other player does that.
Oh wow! So when you play claw, you're aiming with the pointer finger, and then shooting with your thumb?
So I play left-hand claw, and so that means my shooting button's on the left hand.
Okay.
I play normally on that side, but I have it propped up on my comforter in my bed, and I use my pointer finger to aim and my ring finger to crouch.
Oh, so you find snapping easier with the pointer finger rather than the thumb?
Yeah, I think I have a way bigger range of motion and can get to where I need to be. It's like closer to PC than it is with my thumb.
Oh, so your hand is like a free-flowing, it's like almost like a mouse movement then, instead of like...
Yeah.
Oh, because you're right, with your thumb you only have that range of motion.
You're aiming like with a controller.
I got you. I'm going to try that. Maybe I'll try that with my 6-finger claw technique.
It's gonna take a big adjustment.
All right, so let's talk about the Valiant's winter season here. A lot of hype going into the match. You guys are playing Gangstars. It's the marquee match of the weekend. Everyone wanted to watch it. Previously, Judgment kind of called you out on the AA glitching hack kind of thing. Did that kind of change your mindset going into the game, or you're like, you know what, I know how I'm playing, so I don't really have to prove anything to you. I'll prove it on the field, so to say.
The accusations for the AMXL, that really didn't affect me. I found it more funny than it was like nerve-wracking or anything. It really didn't bother me in game, but going into the Alliance, it was still pretty crazy. You're going against Gangstars, best team in the game, best map for them. It was pretty crazy.
Oh, speaking of best map, a lot of people were saying, why did you guys play them on their best map? Now, I don't know. Personally, I don't think it was an ego thing for you guys. I just think it kind of came down to the map bans. Can you kind of walk us through that? Because a lot of people had asked in the stream, like, why would they play them on canals?
Oh, yeah. All right. So our best maps probably go this way. It goes Grounded, Bureau, Canals, Plaza, Legacy. And so that's what we went off of. We banned Legacy first. They probably banned Grounded. And then I'm pretty sure Evo would ban Plaza next. And so after that, they're like, Canals is there. We got to get that. They banned Bureau, and we ended up playing on Canals.
Okay. So how did you feel about your performance in the game?
I played way too passive. Despite what the scoreboard said, I could have played way better. I didn't pick up the sniper once that game, and I was hitting shots earlier. There's a lot of things I could go back and change in that, and I really wish I could. But it's done, and I'm not disappointed in my team at all. They stepped up to where they need to.
Yeah, I mean, because you guys ended up playing the last match of the day as well, which originally people thought was going to be canceled against Infinity Forge, but you guys ended up playing them, and I believe it was 13-1, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, sir.
So now, did you guys? You guys obviously now you have the scoreboard lead, round balance. Is there anything you need to change going into the rest of the winter season?
Oh, yeah. I think we need to play a bit more aggressive. We can't be that passive on CT side. I know it's supposed to wait for the site, but without a little aggression, it's too basic, too standard play, and teams like Gangstars will pick that apart.
Yeah, teams will adapt real fast. So you still have to play against Team Pharaohs, IFL, and D2R. I think IFL is still the other team to beat, and possibly the only other team I think that could dethrone GS in the situation. Do you guys have to prepare definitely for a team like that, or do you just kind of adapt as you go and prepare normally throughout the week and then kind of go on the fly?
Oh yeah, definitely. When we get the map pool for IFL and D2R, we're gonna have to look over some things. IFL is a really dangerous team. Blue Ice, one of the best riflers in the game, probably one of the better players in the game. He's top 10 for sure. Fishbits just got his iPad, and Spacey's still playing. It's going to be a really good game, I think, but it's going to be a close one.
So one of the things that I wanted to ask is, how important is the map ban, do you think? Do you guys take any scrim highlights notes on other teams on as far as what maps you guys play them on and what you do better, and does that really take any account for when you're map banning or not?
Yeah, it does sometimes. The teams the main team was GS. We had to figure out which we didn't want to play them on. Legacy is definitely what we didn't want to play them on. I think Canals was probably our second best option in that situation. But other teams, we still got to look over real quick. IFL, they looked pretty strong on Grounded yesterday, and so we're gonna have to take that, or Saturday, my bad. We're gonna have to take that into consideration.
Yeah, they did definitely look strong. So, yeah, they had. It was 6-6 at half, and then they just basically exploded out, and took over the match. So, and that game sense, and the clutch factor definitely comes in when you're playing this game in a tournament level, because you can play ranked S or you can play just the ranked in the game, and you probably as a pro player don't get nervous in those games because you're playing them as for fun. And a tournament setting is completely different. Is there anything you think you can take away from playing just the game casually that you can apply to the tournament setting stage and to become a semi to pro player?
Oh yeah, playing casually and playing ranked games, they really do add an extra aspect to the game where you can find new spots, because you be going around and some players just play these really wild spots you don't really think about trying. A lot of people, there's a spot on Bureau. A lot of people used to play back head glitch, but that's probably the easiest head glitch to take off out of the game. Move up to front head glitch, you'll play a lot better. And then on A site, you can jump over and look over the servers half the time. And a lot of people could take that in. That's where I learned that, is in ranked games.
Nice. We're gonna go to another question on Twitter. It is from Elixir iOS. He or she asks, what are suggestions for critical ops that you may have that you want implemented?
I want a new map for sure. It's probably, I want to be more detailed, maybe to have more components inside of the game, like doors and stuff. That'd be definitely.
Oh yeah, squeaky.
An extra
you can have a squeaky door.
Maybe. Huh?
You could have a squeaky door like in CS.
Yeah, a door that makes noise. You could use it to more strategical play. And one thing I do want is an extra 20 seconds on the clock. 1 minute 40 seconds is, I think it's too short. You could do a lot more things with 2.
Right on. So let's talk about the hype behind the carry. What do you not think about that when you're going into the game? For Valiance, a lot of people, even Valiance mentioned it on their stream. They said if Impreza is going to win, Jackson's going to have to carry. Do you keep yourself humbled in this aspect, because you have to, you're a team player, you're not just a solo player, you're not going for kills. How do you counter that mentally and then with your teammates?
When I'm going into the games, I don't look at the scoreboard. I don't look at kill counts. I'm looking at what we're doing in the game. I'm not worried about who's fragging. I need to know where we're shutting stuff down and where we need to go. I think Evo and Jashawn are just as good as me, if not better at times. They're both remarkable players. Not a lot of people talk about them. I don't know why.
No, but that just comes from your experience with the team. Right now, you're getting highlighted from the community, but people got to realize it's a team game, and you mentioned that team chemistry is very very important. Do you guys practice and then just hang out afterwards after practices during the week? What other activities do you guys do together as a team to build that chemistry?
Oh yeah, we practice around like 2 hours a day, and after that, we might play some more. I know the 2 days before Alliance, we played a lot, especially on canals. But a lot of times we'll chill in VC. Sometimes we play PUBG. We used to watch movies. We do that occasionally. I like just hanging out, and talking to each other.
Yeah. We're gonna go to a random question from the community. This one's coming from Haley iOS, and she's asking Haley or Carson. And I don't know if there's a backstory in this. If you want to explain that, Haley or Carson.
Yeah, I know them both from Madden Mobile. I've known Haley for like 3 years now. I've known Carson for maybe 2. I'm gonna have to go with Haley. Haley got me to unblock Carson in the first place, so he would even start talking to me. So yeah, Haley's my best friend, and Carson, he's right there too.
Yeah, shout out to Haley and Carson. I don't know Haley, but I do know Carson. So do you have any tips for? Perfect example for me. I don't play pro, I don't play semi-pro or anything like that. But if I want to get better at the game, what kind of tips can you give to the newer players coming into the game as the game comes towards its full release and launch? That may have not been in the scene for 2 to 3 years, that are just finding it on the app stores and like, oh wow, this game is fun. What kind of tips can you give them to elevate their game?
Oh yeah, individual players, you need to be confident in yourself. I told Trax to do this. If you think someone's there, you need to, and you can win the gunfight, you need to go take it. Don't be scared to take a gunfight. He told me he's playing a lot better off of that. And then as a team standpoint, don't get players just because they're good. Get players that you can play with. Get players that you like talking to. Because if you're not playing with people you like, you'll be arguing and stuff, and that's not going to help the team as a whole. It's going to bring it down.
All right. No, I agree with that. Do you think the actual amount of hours playing versus the types of games you play makes a difference? Because I know there's people that literally will grind this game so much. Is there a point to where you're grinding so much you're not learning anything out of it?
There was a point where I was playing this game so much that it stopped offering things to me. I think playing it more than 6 hours a day is ridiculous. I don't think that should be done. 2 to 3 hours is a really good range to play it, because you're getting better as it is, and you're not drying yourself out or burning out playing the game.
Yeah, you're not triggering yourself at all when you die or anything like that.
Yeah.
All right, so this year hopefully there will be a LAN event, and what would it mean to you as a player who's been in this community and scene for a while, and for the game, for Impreza to hopefully qualify for a LAN event?
Oh yeah, I'd love to see my team at LAN. I think it'd mean a lot to them, and I think it'd be really big for the community and Critical Ops as a whole to move on with it through a LAN. It'd get so much exposure, and it would really expand the game over multiple fields.
Do you think the LAN, if there was a LAN, do you think it should be groups and qualifiers and then actual playing to see, who makes the LAN, or should it just be regional and then the top regional teams play?
The first LAN, I think, will probably be it's either going to be 2 of the NA teams or a NA and an EU team. Probably that's what I'm seeing as. All the rest of the games to qualify that will probably be online. Other than that, since it would be the first one, I only think that 2 teams would be invited.
No, I definitely agree with you on that. And that kind of brings me to my next topic and point here. So with hopefully a LAN coming, hopefully, bigger orgs, bigger sponsors are looking at this game. If a big org approached Impreza, would you guys jump onto that opportunity?
We'd really have to talk to an organization before we took part of it. Because if an organization comes into critical ops, it's not like any other game. You have to grind to play this game and get to the top. It takes a long time. And if an org doesn't understand that, they're going to be frustrated and they won't really understand what's happening and what you're having to go through as a team.
Yeah, because they're looking for immediate results, and they don't realize, that the game does. The players and the teams definitely go through a lot in this game, especially since the stability in the community, I think, is getting better, especially the NA scene. Now we have Impreza, Seminole, IFL, D2R, Gangstars. Exile was around. There's other team. IFL's been around. IF's been around. A lot of other teams have been around, and the community seems a little more stable. So I think that's a good point for us to move on in the future and help build this game. Was there anything that did you watch the Valiance cast after you guys had played the match?
Yeah, I rewatched the game definitely. I had to see what was going on. I saw a lot of things that we didn't see in game that if we knew about, we really could have changed that.
Is there any point in that match where you felt like, oh, this could have been the turning point, where this one little frag here or a trade here would have changed the whole outcome of the game?
Oh, right after the pistol round, after the switch, we go into anti-eco. We won the pistol round. Solar taps me off T-bridge. At that point, we should have stopped going anywhere close to the cross. We should have gone straight to tunnels. And we went cross. He tapped 2 more people. We're stuck in a 2v5 there. We lose the eco. We have to go eco the next round, and it just put us down real quick.
Now, do you guys still think you have an opportunity and chance to win out Valiance?
Yeah, we're gonna have to win out completely, and we're gonna have to hope a team like D2R or IFL takes a map out of Gangstars, and we're gonna have to beat them in the round balance.
I mean, you guys' round balance is really good right now, and I would expect that it's, all the matches remaining are going to be really tough. Any advice or tips or any shout outs you want to give to anyone else out in the community?
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to Jashawn for recruiting me to Impreza. Shout out to Carson and Haley, 2 of my best friends. I want to give a shout out to Hotshot if he's watching. I know he doesn't play Critical Ops anymore, but he gave me my first big chance.
Right on. Well, I think that's pretty much all we have for today. Thank you, Jackson, for being on the show. I really appreciate it. Go follow him on Twitter at Jackson Cops. Check out his YouTube. I'll put that in the link as well. And for everyone watching, thank you very much. We're saying peace.
Thanks for having me.